A lot of the major issues that at least I found myself coming across when trying to put out 2 videos a week on YouTube is the filming part, man. And a lot of the editing part takes a lot of time as well, but a lot of that stuff is done typically at night, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 in the morning, right? But a lot of the times just actually filming the content that you want to put out throughout the week can get pretty taxing. A lot of times too, you'll see a whole lot of subscription-based growth come from, putting out more content. Obviously you want to put out as much content as you can. Now, obviously putting out 1 video a week, that's good. I guess that's a good start. Now, if you can put out 2, maybe even 3 videos a week, obviously you're gonna see more growth. I mean, that's just sheer mathematics, right? Now, one thing I've seen a lot of Instagrammers talk about is like taking a whole bunch of photos one day and then spreading those photos out throughout the week. So we can kind of use this technique as well when it comes to filming our YouTube content, depending on what type of YouTube content you put out. If you do a lot of talking head stuff like I do, whether it's like just stuff I'm doing throughout the day, or whether it's just putting out some recommendations or things that I've learned throughout some of the projects throughout the week, then a lot of that theory you can also apply to your YouTube content as well. For instance, if you guys take a look at this video and compare it to a video that I put out 3 days ago, you'll notice kind of the same theme, right? I'm filming at night, I'm filming like near my vehicle outside, kind of like a vlogging style video or whatever you want to call it. And so alongside of filming the content about that music video, I also knew that I was going to film content about filming 2 videos a week on that same night as well. Another thing too, which is like a downfall for a lot of us filmmakers, is that we feel that all of our scenes or all of our shots have to be like perfectly exposed. Like it's got to be cinematic and all this stuff, man. A lot of the content that you guys have to share, you may just want to actually make sure that it's shared, not necessarily like, how the framing is or any of that stuff, or like any of the cinematography stuff. Right now I'm shopping in the grocery store. These are actually called inserts, which is actually used in film a lot as well. So you actually are filmmaking. And so for this insert right here, I'm literally just walking in the grocery store, man, pull my cell phone out. I ain't got no crazy microphone, none of that stuff. I don't know none of these people around me. And so I think a lot of it is just getting over the fear and recording in front of people that you don't even know. Now this is like, this is not a new concept, man. Like I said, if you check out a whole bunch of Instagram videos, you'll see a lot of information talking about shooting photos on the same day, but then just spreading out those photos throughout the week. All we're doing now is we're applying that same kind of theory to putting out YouTube videos as well. In some sort of weird way, we feel like as filmmakers, our content has to be top par. We've got to use I can't tell what's clear. We've got to use our Canon EOS R. We've got to take out, the Blackmagic RC200. We've got to take out our Sony full frame to put out a video, which makes sense actually, because if your channel is about filmmaking, right? If your channel is about, anything to do with filmmaking, or you have clients that want to hire you for video production, because they're looking at this content on your YouTube channel and they're probably going to base the quality that you put out for their projects based off of the YouTube content, right? But the problem I face, just speaking from personal kind of difficulties or challenges that I have to overcome when it comes to actually putting out YouTube content, is that not every single take has to be fully cinematic, perfectly lit, all the stars aligning perfectly. Not all those conditions need to be met in order for you to put out a YouTube video. You can pull out your cell phone if you feel like something's on your mind that you really need to get out because you want it to go into your next YouTube video. Just take out your cell phone, do the insert, and just insert that cell phone footage. Some of the footage I'm putting into this video is also inserts from my cell phone footage. The thing that I always have to remind myself is like, no one's probably even gonna notice that insert anyway, so why am I stressing it out so much? A lot of the times you may be thinking to yourself, like, for example, this whole vlog or whatever, it has really nothing to do with the overall theme of this YouTube channel. This whole YouTube channel basically runs off the whole filmmaking vibe, behind the scenes music video stuff. Sometimes I do like tutorials on Davinci Resolve. So basically filmmaking stuff, video content creating. So a lot of the times I think to myself, well, how can I do a vlog like this, but still incorporate the theme of my YouTube video? Because I'm just gonna be real, man. A lot of y'all watching this vlog, you're here for like music video content. You're here for like filmmaking stuff, like basically stuff that I'm doing that you could learn off of mistakes that I've made. You probably look at some of the stuff that I made, like I'm not gonna do that. Like most of your vlogs aren't necessarily gonna be about the theme of your YouTube channel. So you can always film some sort of an insert that does have to do with the YouTube theme of your channel. That way you're still bringing that overall YouTube theme back around full circle. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This entire video minus the cell phone footage that you guys see me shooting in the grocery store was shot on the black satin filter by Tiffin. I'm sure by now you've heard of the black Promise filter that Tiffin has as well. I'm not gonna talk about the black Promise filter. There's a ton of videos already on YouTube talking about the black Promise filter. However, there's not a lot of information talking about the black satin filter that Tiffin makes as well. However, one thing I did notice when shooting with the black Promise filter is that it affects the shadows a little bit too much for my liking, especially when shooting in RAW or Vlog or S-Log or any type of log for that matter. If you've shot with any type of log footage, specifically using the black Promise filter, you're gonna notice just a little bit of noise in the shadows as well. One thing I do like about the black satin filter is that it retains shadows a little bit better than the black Promise filter, doing a really great job in just providing you with that blooming effect just in the highlights and leaving the shadows alone. This particular filter that you've been looking at throughout this entire video is the 1/8 strength. I'd highly recommend staying away from like the quarter or the halves. They probably do a little too much for most projects. If you take a look at the last 3 months worth of videos on this channel, they've all been shot with the black satin 1/8 strength filter by Tiffin. This is Monkey. Don't look at me like that. You got twins? You got twin 2-year-olds? You got a 5-year-old? Let me ask you something, man. Let me ask you something. Where you be putting your microphones at when you do your videos? Exactly. So anyways, low-key scene y'all checking out right here. A lot of shadows, bright lights in the background. You guys can see like the halation or whatever they call it, the blooming cinematic, or I don't know. It smooths out the skin. You guys know this channel by now. I'm not gonna talk about like the science behind the lights. This is what it looks like. I just know I like the way this looks better. Like in this scene, for example, we've got, you know, these lights here that I'm using, these Wii lights. I've talked about this before. I use this literally I pretty much use this in every single video. If you've seen any one of my videos, check out the back, like check out the lights, man. You probably peep game on these lights. These are the Wii lights. I'm using them back here for this backlight that you see behind me. I'm also using it for my front lighting here. It can do a whole slew of effects, simulate lightning, and it also has like police lights or whatever you want to call it as well. Probably have fun with these out on the street too. It's probably illegal, but I wouldn't do that. Don't do that. You're welcome. Put this in your toolkit. Definitely a must have. Gotta have it. So yeah, man, 2 YouTube videos a week, but obviously try and get all that filming that you can possibly do done in one day. Obviously, there's gonna be times where you can't necessarily film everything on the same day. Let's say you're covering an event or whatever for a client, but you also wanna cover some YouTube content within that event as well. So you're not gonna be able to film everything on the same day, but you can film like the intro and the outro for that video. So at least you have, you know, the lead in for that event or whatever done and out the way. Anyways, guys, if you guys got any value out of this video, man, make sure you hit that like button. It helps the channel tremendously. And if you guys like this sort of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. But that's all for this video, man. I hope to see you guys in one of my next ones. Peace.
Filling my pockets for now, for later. I want the picket for some sign of the neighbors. I used to skip out on the playlist. Nowadays I tax for the labor. Dog on the line, you ain't tapping in. I'm staying clear, fake rapper friends. Kamikaze on a traffic cam. Only one shot to navigate the labyrinth of keeping it late. Burn it down to the ash. My life been much more than imagine. I got where I'm at with the passion. Traded all to live it backwards. Pray we ain't make it through the night. Hope we ain't make it through the night. You can see it when you look into my eyes. When you look into my eyes, you can see the ground all day. Life been going my way. Life been going my way. On the grind all day. Life been going my way. Life been going my way. Yeah, the word on my back like a atlas. Lit down the ashes. Shit do not come with no practice. Recipe, passion, and liquor with God in the passenger. Prayer to crashes. I'm in my basket. Blissful but ignorant. I'm dapper but ratchet. I play around in the traffic. I take the risk. Look at me stack up the chips. I play roulette with the magnet. Right till I die. I'm not afraid of the casket. I'm on the run. I'm chasing the thrills. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I lust for the meal. Lately, I'm blue like the bills. Yeah. I'm elevated, overeducated. I run the race for who I resonate with. I break the bread with you who work the late shift. Break the ground, shake up the stimulation. Reshape the sound, needed renovation. All that quickly vacated the premises. I feed off my enemy entities.